Hi, welcome back to Torment, Tides of Numenera. We have left off at the character creation. We have become a cautious Nano. No, not a cautious, a clever Nano. Because of our choices. And that's exactly what we want to become too. Like, there is some other descriptors which we can look at. Which we'll do right now. But let's have a look at the abilities first. We have a concentration increase that is very helpful when casting spells, which is what you do basically as a Nano. Kind of spells. Ciphers, of course. Cipher limit increase. So you can carry around more of these ciphers, little machines, magical machines that you can use without getting the cipher sickness. And we have Onslaught, which is basically something like, if you know D&D or all the classic role-playing games, it's something akin to a magic missile. So it just gives you a damage type to choose, and you have a certain range, and then the range medium, and then the enemy will get some damage in. So it's against willpower. As a Nano you get 2 more intellect. We have already 2 more intellect from Clever. Plus 2 from the Nano gives 9. That's pretty good. 5 health, that's not much. 2 points to distribute to any pool. So we could give some to Might, to Speed. We'll probably go for Speed and Intellect, as that's kind of a good combination. If you're going for... like the Glaive, Might and Speed is a good combination in my experience. If you go for the Nano, like the other side of the dice, so to say, then Intellect and a bit of Speed is a good combination. And if you go for the Jack, it really depends on you. It's all about equal is a good combination then. So this is normally a role-playing series, but in the character creation we're looking a little bit at the values and stuff, because I think that might interest you too. As I've played the early access completely, so I know something about the game. Not all, but some stuff is really... I'm really firm in. So let's look at the other options we would have. As a Jack, we would have the Flex skill, +1 training level in a skill that you choose, like for a day or until next sleep. And a lot more health, of course, more abilities, and an exploration skill. So we have Glaive too. It's an opportunist. Ends turn immediately, make a basic attack against the first enemy that moves within weapon range. So it's basically like some kind of active defense action. So you choose to wait until someone passes you. So that's basically very good for longer range weapons. Then we have practiced in armor. There's a cost to using armor, as you can see here, and this reduces the cost. So this is basically your tank, so to say. And you can also see how the stat pools change. Glaive would get 6 Might, 6 Speed. 7 is from the Clever. Then the Jack would get nothing for a start, the Deception. The Clever Nano, like the Deception, is from of course the Cleverness. Gets that, and we're going to be a Nano. Nanos are sometimes called mages, wizards, sorcerers, or witches by the people of the 9th world. Whatever they are called, Nanos master the mysteries of the past to the degree that they seem to perform miracles using esoteries, spell-like invocations that combine gestures, command words, and psychic disciplines. They tap into Nano spirits, numinous particles that suffuse the landscape to alter reality, or learn things that they wouldn't otherwise know. And that's our mission, right? For us, it's about exploration, getting to know things. We don't have a big part of knowledge at the start. that would be part of our character. She wants to gain knowledge. She's not the perfect intellectual yet, but she's out there. So let's see, we can allocate the stat points. As I said, I prefer speed and intellect when playing a nano, so we're going for that. Intellect gives you willpower, resistance, evasion is gained by speed, and might also increase his health. So we're gaining a bit of evasion and intellect. Willpower. So if you're real, like going for a tank, for the melee combat, you often get melee attacks in, and so more hit points and more evasion is better than more willpower if you're at the front line. If you're like at the back line, like the nano would, speed and intellect is pretty good. Might not so much, because you're not getting attacked that often. So the normal health pool should be okay, but evasion helps against these area of effect spells or esoteries, and yeah, willpower of course also helps from a distance. We're also getting one skill concentration, one skill deception. This helps us mitigating penalties for equipped bonded artifacts. And this, of course, is helping to convince someone that something is true when it isn't. So we might cheat people a little bit with our intellect, but only for the good of all. So what do we have? What can we choose? The type abilities. We can scan thoughts. I really love that, and I would like to take that to get deeper into the story. The surface thoughts of most people or creatures you speak with appear in conversations. And there's a lot to be learned here about the world, and for an explorer, scan thoughts would certainly be very important. So we're taking that, and also for a role player, it's a great opportunity to explore the game. If you like the whole of the story, then take scan thoughts. Would have resourceful, where we can use additional ciphers. Adaptation, that is getting some defense or giving some defense to our allies. And with innovate, removing all negative fettles. And healing, that's of course always good. I mean, when is healing not good, right? And then we have Quantum Step. You can teleport. That's very good. If you're an offensive, like, hitman character and Quantum Step is your thing, also to flee it is pretty great. I'm really split between Adaptation and Innovate. And I think we want to take... Yeah, that's of course looking forward. We want to take Aligern as a companion, and he has Innovate. So we're going to take Adaptation to have something good for the group. Then we can choose an exploration skill. Provide benefits to any tasks and challenges you may come across, increasing your odds of success while using them. Some exploration skills may also have additional benefits, such as granting increased health or increasing the number of ciphers you can safely carry. So it seems like we're we're not able to choose these, but we can enable them, and this will cost us 1 skill point. So there's already the question, right? Now we wouldn't have anything, so we're raising inability to novice basically. So that would be an option, or we could give more law natural, like, and it's usually good to go for a specialization first, so you have like some kind of a split knowledge. I mean, we have Aligern with us, who is a little bit mystical. He doesn't know much about machinery, but yeah, we'll just go for these skills over the course of the game. So natural law is what we'll first want, and academic knowledge of the natural sciences and physical creatures will help an explorer, of course. Mystical and machinery is also pretty great, but yeah, we're gonna do that first. As I said, we're not optimizing, otherwise we would probably go back, gain another descriptor, like you can see here. So we have clever now. Quick-witted and a good judge of others. Can fool people, but rarely fool yourself. You're not great at retaining trivial knowledge, however. So, that is something. So, would we maybe rather go for full intellectual, not be clever? Rather go for healing? That might be nice. To have that. Law natural, law machinery is pretty great, and anamnesis is also pretty good. Few social graces, however. Yeah, then we could not lie, so we would be learned. So that's also an option for an explorer. Mechanical is, yeah, more like a machine guy. Then we have observant, great perception and concentration, rugged, very resistant, slick, more like a thief character, stealthy, also a lot here. Of course, that's also some kind of thief character. And strong, that's essentially, yeah, like a bully character, and it's decreasing our intellect. We have strong-willed, that is also not bad. Then swift. Swift is, yeah, speed is like the master of all, so not bad. Then tough, just getting better through the world. Especially in combat. And wrathful, better at using weapons. You can see here charming is also nice. That will make you like a natural at all the social graces. And cautious, where you have one training level in perception and in stealth. But we're like split among these, and clever. It's pretty hard. I mean, I wanted to take the the clever nano, but this tempts me, like, to learn more about the game. On the other hand, this was given us by the fate, so we'll go for that. We'll see how it is. A clever nano explorer. That can be totally a motivation, so... you can see here. We'll gain 2 abilities at each tier and 1 law skill at tier 1. So our clever nano... wait. Pools. Yeah. Want to distribute to the pools, of course. Ah, it has annihilated everything. So we're going for adaptation again, and for natural law, and for the clever. So let's start this. This is our clever nano. Scan thoughts for the story, adaptation, to protect the team. Yeah, we wish to proceed. I mean, we have now more like a team player explorer, which is a little bit harder early in the game, but which gets better as the game progresses. The spectre. Everything about this spectral figure seems dreamlike. He is a hazy silhouette, who seems to be made of blue glass smoke. He wears stylish, well-cut clothes. His handsome, bearded face seems hauntingly familiar. Though you've never seen him before, he breathes a sigh of relief when he sees you. We weren't sure that would work. We pooled our strength and channeled it through me to reach you. To wake you up? He glances at the other figures here and frowns unhappily. It took more out of them than we thought. At the other reflections, they're more like shadows now. Look, I'll bet you've got a lot of questions. This whole place is basically your mind. Your body's still out there in the real world, healing from that fall. You need to get out there and finish the process. It shouldn't be too hard. Before I met you, I felt like something was hunting me. Do you know what it was? Closes his eyes. That's a memory I don't want to recall. Large, black, furious. It's our death. It's the sorrow. Luke closes his eyes. I hope it's lost interest in you. If it finds us, we're done for. You said I had to finish the process. What do you mean by that? After you wake up from this dream state and attune to the tides, you'll need to find something called the resonance chamber. Your body should have landed somewhere near it. Just climb inside that and everything will be fine. What do you mean by that, attune to the tides? Tides are like a force, like gravity or magnetism or something. Except they respond to people's actions and perceptions. Your body, that is, your body in the real world, needs the tides to survive. It's not something you need to worry about. Your body will attune as it wakes up. And what's that resonance chamber? I remember pieces about it, but not the whole. It's a crystal sarcophagus. I remember it having 5 mechanical arms around it and a metal ring set in the floor. I think we were aiming for it when we fell. When you open your eyes in the real world, it should be nearby. And who are those other people? You called them reflections? That's what they are. As I said, it's your mind. You'll find reflections of people you knew. People you met in the real world and with whom you shared some kind of psychic connection. I don't know how or why, it just happens. And if this place is my mind, why don't I remember any of this, any of you? It's your mind, a construct built to, I don't know, share thoughts, store your true self. Wait, you know how people say in the first place? This is definitely the first place of your memory. Well, it was the first place for me anyway. You'd probably know better since it's yours. If you don't remember now, maybe it will come to you later. And who are you? I am... He pauses and looks down at himself, considering a long time before answering. I'm you. I'm a part of your mind, a splinter. I was waiting here for you. We called you with the memories of the others who are there. Here. I don't know what happened next. How do you know all this, all that you're telling me? He throws up his hands in frustration. I'm just a part of you. I look at you and I know. This place was made for you, for us, and I remember pieces of knowledge that come to me when you ask your questions, but that's all. Crazy. So we're talking to ourselves, basically, and we're remembering. That's what we feel. Like if you think about something very hard and then talk about it, and then something comes back to you. So how do I or we get back to the real world, Spectre? There's a portal down there. It'll take you back to your body. Just step through it, and the whole tides thing should take care of itself. He crosses his arms. When you wake up, find the resonance chamber and activate it. Then we can... What in the hells is that? Gods, it's the sorrow! It's shattered the mirror. Sorrow is anchored to those reflections. It's devouring their power. We have to get rid of them, destroy its anchors. or else the sorrow will erase us forever. So, we need to kill the reflections. That reflection near you, kill it. You'll loosen the sorrow's anchor. And that's what we can do. We'll kill it. With a basic attack, let's see. I think I'm going for 85. On the other hand, let's go for 85. That's good enough. We're getting 20% per point. So we would waste something. Let's be a little risky. Nice, we did it. Oh, look at that. Tiny, what are these? Tentacle beings. Now run, get to the next one. It's escaping though. Tiny sorrows escaping. Attack. We could move and then...
Alright.
Let's move. And we can use our onslaught. Let's use something that seems trans-dimensional for some reason for me. So let's use that. And yeah, we want to use the full power to get to 90%.
I missed.
What? No, 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 we can't afford a miss next time. You've got to hit it. There's something else. A sorrow fragment. It's escaping. What next? This time go for the standard attack because we cannot miss. Let's go for the 100%. A sorrow infection is there. What's it doing now? It's infecting it somehow. We need to kill it. Let's go. We need the 100%. All our strength depends on it. Skiss, the reflection is protected somehow. I need to find a way to hit it even harder. My god. Another sorrow fragment is fleeing. It's escaping. Grab that piece of mirror glass. It might have enough residual energy to kill the reflection. You see it? That's that thing, right?
Fine.
Take it. A shimmering glass cipher. 13 physical damage. Wow. Look at the details. This is a fragment of the mirror that the sorrow shattered in the calm. Holds a reflection of you, frozen in time, and surrounded by a corona of multicolored energies. Let's take it. So we'll use the shimmering glass. Nice. We did it. The sorrows have gone away. You pried it loose. That thing is a cancer. An infection. It's unstoppable. But you stopped it. Spectre holds his head in his hands. I can't believe it found us in here. He looks at you, terror in his eyes. That thing, the sorrow, it's been hunting you. It's what killed you in the first place. It will keep hunting you until you activate the resonance chamber. I didn't remember until I saw it. But that's why the chamber is so important. You have to get back and activate the chamber before it is too late. The portal to your body is that shimmering dome there. Go. Now! There's something we can pick up. Let's look at this. Swirling deaths flicker with mysteries and powers you cannot define. Let's leave. And where are we going now? This could be the resonance chamber, what we see here. There's the 5 arms.
Where did she fall from? Her body's smashed to talk. It's a wonder she's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not her origin point. But look, she's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
You get... Oh, I know that face. Oh, what was that? What did you do, Calistig? Elegant's tone has become accusatory, suspicious. You open your eyes. First thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscope of tattoos, writhing across his forearms. He wears a long dark coat belted at the waist. Supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? She emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall, probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Aligan. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Faint echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, though some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Oh yes, it's obvious, Calistig. His voice is grim and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him. You're no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His face is hard and set. And he thinks, that's a service thoughts of scan thoughts, she's the changing god. Calistig is deliberately blinding herself, but why? But we're more interested in the outer world, so, who are you? Silvertide, huh? If you don't remember who I am, you're more self-centered than I ever imagined. You know she's not the changing god, Aligan. And she thinks Aligan's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him so they don't like each other? It's her face. I've never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. Sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. You're familiar with the word changing, Aligan? Calistig says it implies inconstancy. Thus the changing god may well have changed. Several versions of her shrug, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you're newly born. Her most solid self curtsies, while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Calistig. This is Aligan. We're explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. Oh, she's an explorer, so we might go bond with her instead of Aligan. So where are we? What is this place? Sanctum of your sires. Common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. Your fall. And who is the changing god? Ha! That's something coming from you. Calistig says, the changing god, and gives Aligan a sidelong glance, is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, a means to transfer himself to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Oh, he knew all right, Aligan says. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind. Adding to it, he sees us as experiments, not humans. If you know the changing god through my body, why do you keep referring to my sire as he? We know your creator through legend and research. He is taking the form of men, women, visitants, and other things. His form is fluid, as his name suggests, but the stories about the changing god always refer to him. It's easier, Aligan says. You are a woman. The changing god is himself. Are there other cast-offs? Dozens, hundreds, who can say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. Though, if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. So you say I was born when the changing god left, but why am I not dead? I used the cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it, if you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do you do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you'll make strong bodies, fast, powerful. Maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it. The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell. That doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. Oh, thank you. That was nice. And if he abandoned my body, where is he now? If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. He eyes you keenly. Oh, do stop. Calistig looks at Aligan, and the look she gives him is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. And what was that blast of energy when I woke? As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a physiological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a castle, but yes, it could very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm, not to me at least. Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Are you sure that surge didn't hurt you? If it did, it was damage in our minds. Though how you check if it carked her, I couldn't say. Tough to find normalcy here. At least we know it didn't hurt Aligan. That skull's as thick as organic stone. Do you know anything about the tides, by the way? I've heard that term before. A subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Alright, I want to ask about something else. Of course, child, you must be so disoriented. But before I woke, I was in some kind of dreamlike labyrinth with a glowing spectre. With how hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that's all you saw. Alright. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical regrowth. If that's the case, you would be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the Sorrow's attacks, says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply, the thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic, this is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the Sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Calistig is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the scripter had described it, a transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and One of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Of flesh-eating viruses, one presumes disfigurement by the iron wind could likewise be devastating enough to... Halligan says, I think she gets the point, Calistig. I saw a vision of myself in another time and place just now. You didn't see it too, did you? I saw you stare into space while Calistig graphically described all the ways you could die, but that's all about it. He snorts. I only noticed because I did the same thing. So, we're explorers, so we want to know, like, about everything. So can I ask some more questions about this cast of body? Certainly, dear. What do you want to know? Alright, we already asked these questions. So let's talk about the crystal chamber that we should fix to somehow get the sorrow out of our world. Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber
I'll remember that.
Halligan chuckles. Then firm and certain he says, not likely. Though it might not be impossible, you need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Calistig's distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You'd turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where's your judgment, Halligan? I would take her to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. Alright, what's the Order of Truth then? Knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds, they gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Halligan here was once one of them. Frauds, quacksalvers and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with a changing god's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Halligan. Let us take our new friend to the Order. And wait, what's the cult of the changing god? Despite what she says, they're not insane, they're eccentrics. She laughs, but his soldiers on. They're worshippers of, well, of you or your sire. The changing god, they devote their lives to understanding your kind. But I think we should go to the Order of Truth. As they are explorers, knowledge seekers. Yeah, I think... Calistig, will you take me to the Order of Truth? Of course. Once I provide an introduction to the priests, we'll have your chamber fixed in no time. You'll end up without your clothes and broken in a ditch while she laughs it off as a good experiment. It's probably best I come with you as well. Suspicious as always, Halligan. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her faces. And I shudder to think what Halligan might do to the child is what she thinks. Alright, but we're clever, so we're a little bit suspicious. Why do you want to go with me? What's in it for you? I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef. Who knows what secrets this child could help me find, if I can help her live long enough, so she's seeking for knowledge. Kid, you're not safe here, and not just because you're new. Treasure hunters troll the reef, scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from, what you were. And he's more like... he seems more like the friendly type. If she's not the changing god, she needs my help. And if she is... yeah, he's worshipping us. Alright, then let's go. So, a rather long session. We'll of course make a proper investigation into that. Look how nice we can zoom in. of the chamber and the machines here in the next episode. So thank you for watching, happy gaming to you, and see you in the next episode of Torment, Tides of Numenera. I'll be happy to have you there. If you have not already subscribed, you'll get a message if you just subscribe and a new episode comes out. So happy gaming to you, and see you then. Have a good time.